Check one, check two, check one. We back up in Spreaker. So let's start it over again. I want to welcome you to the Congregation of the Mighty. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Of course, you know this is Dave Toast's Heart of Summer Production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Let's kick it. Grab your glass. Come on, Spreaker. Hang in there. Hang in there, baby. Grab your water. Come on. Come on. Come on. Drink your water. Come on. Come on. Come on. Drink your water. But first, take a breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, breathe, breathe, then drink. All right. Now grab your glass and pour some water. Now lift your glass and pour some water. Now lift your glass and pour some water. Just lift your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body, drink some water. I know some of you already moved already. Move your body, drink some water. Move your body, work out, drink some water. Move your body. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, move, move, then drink. Now, of course, we got this. Raise those glasses and toast your ancestors. Raise our glass and toast our ancestors. Raise your glass and toast our ancestors. Raise your glass. Drink. Drink, 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 drink. Now I know what's wrong with my equipment, Cleveland. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift your glass and drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, move, live, drink. Oh, God. Or should I say, breathe, live, move, drink. Lift your glass. Take your breath. Move your body. Raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. I think I'm gonna lift my glass and drink some water. Lift my glass and drink some water. You lift your glass and drink some water. Let's lift our glass and drink some water. Drink, 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 drink. Alright. My mic is not sounding right on Spreaker. Because somebody was messing with my equipment. Yes, somebody in this house was messing with my equipment. And his name just happened to be Cleveland Brown. Yes, Cleveland Brown wants the game and mess with my stuff. So my stuff ain't acting right. Cleveland, it don't make no sense to leave that bag over there. I don't know why you just do stuff. Get up and go. It's real life here, Gye-Nyame. Get off your ass and go over there and get that stuff, sir. I appreciate that you're watching something and learning about some creepy crawlies, but that's ridiculous. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? See, we got to work with our young people, right? Right? Let them know that they have responsibilities. And on top of that, let them know that they was born for a reason. You ain't just pop up in here accidentally. Now, it was a rat, or I don't know whether it was a rat or a tree rat, sister. All I know is that the white boy walked into this grocery store. He walked into the gas station with a rat on his back. So I walked by him, and I was looking down, and I seen another face looking at me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even though my head be down sometimes, I be observing, and I'm like, two faces looking at me, goddammit. It was a white man and a rat. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Ben times two. Like, what the hell? What in tarnations is going on here? How, when, and why is this going on? So I'm opening up the lines. We're going to finish up drinking.
Please hold while we
drinking this water. And then we're going to move into the quotes of the day, if I can find my tribal quotes book, because I was forced to clean up my little area over here. We all got responsibilities around the Gye-Nyame house, and if you want to keep peace, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So, all right, family. So I'm gonna put on some water drinking music real quick, so that we go and drink this water. My selection has dropped terribly, so let's go and listen to some Mazia, all right? Yeah, let's listen to some Mazia.
This is my history. I was never born in slavery. When I speak, I mean, I am therefore we are a people whose legacy transcends 400 years of European captivity. This is my history, rooted in African spirituality, preaching and teaching to love the original self, respect nature, ancestor veneration, seek the righteous path to knowledge, wisdom and understanding of life and death, because we live forever. As long as our children speak about our African legacy, this is my history. From Amenhotep to Malcolm X, from Hatshepsut to Assata Shakur, from the Orisha to Kwanzaa, from Cairo to the Cape, from Cuba to Trinidad and Tobago,
I see you, Mr.
Asia to Australia.
Shouts out.
From the beginning of time to infinity, this is my history. Nubian, Kemetia, Ashanti, Wolof, Hausa, Yoruba, Zulu, African people, black people, my people, our people. Now when I speak of black, I mean color, culture, and spiritual consciousness. To know that self-knowledge is key to our liberty in this war against Euro-American South African brutality. This is my history. This is my history. Them say what is to be must be. Life is but a continuous cycle. But now I speak, we write in foreign tongues because they came. They saw, they conquer. Genocide I rule its mind. Like the devil they stole we land. Kidnap we soul for pieces of gold. Rape my mother. Behead my father, castrate my brother, lost for my sister. This is my history. Victims of European pirates of the seven seas, who came in boats from ships, sailed by heroes of Caucasian descendants. Sir Francis Drake, Henry Morgan, Cristobal Colon, Henry the Navigator, John Hawkins, who stripped us and packed us like rats in hulls of slave ship, a free trip down Atlantic lane, to experience only sorrow and pain. This is my history.
Shout out to Mazia Patachete for History. That was a track from an album we did years ago called African Warriors, the Afrocentric Warriors. You know, something I'm proud of. We completed it. I was able to complete some promises, and I learned a lot about life making that album. All right, so we had, we got a whole album, you know. So when you couldn't really do it in the house, you know what I'm saying, you had to actually go to a studio. But now, man, it's just a whole different thing. But let's get into this toast before I digress to a point, because I know some of y'all got other stuff to do. Remember, get your daily toast wear, that G&J wear, you know what I'm saying? We got a name coming out, but I got to go and trademark the name before somebody else go on and do it. And we going to be having the dressings, you know what I'm saying? Because we got us a chef in the house. Sister Navita got all these hidden talents and skills that you don't even know about until you really sit down and talk with her, and you be like, I didn't know you could do that. I do that all the time, you know. And I'm still, I only got I only got to taste a little bit of the ranch. I want to get my hands on some of the ranch. So let's say around Kwanzaa, right? G&J gonna have a booth set up, and we're gonna have that dressing. I'm planning to have that dressing up, right? Miss Sasha Marsh is spying on me right now. I don't know what's going on. Something is amiss in the house of Gye-Nyame, but you know how it is, how it goes down. Hopefully y'all getting the black signal. Miss Cynthia said she didn't get the message yesterday, but her and Sister Roni are trying to put together a Kemetic temple, and they're looking for all people interested. And I put the information on, and I sent it out. If you got the signal, throw up a thumb so she know that it went out. Because I don't know why she didn't get it, but everybody else seemed to have got it. Chef Na Nelson. Chef Na Nelson. That's right. All right, so here we go. So, first, giving honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator, calling on that great force, that great power. Knowing that when we call upon it, it is in the room. And we raise up our glass to that creative force, and we toast and we say, that's right, we say Ashe. Uh-oh, Miss Sasha's on the Ashe with us right now. All right, close that door for me, Miss Sasha Marsh. All right, so from there, we get to our magnificent list. We get to the list of our ancestors, those upon whose shoulders we directly stand, and we call on them. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert and Texana Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilley, Georgia William Walter, Christopher Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Toppin, John Fallard, Montague Pimenel, Normal X, Pat Maya Ra, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pullen, the Luxor Brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Cale Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trade, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Louis Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bert Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Augusta Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Delos Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keishler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stobers, Harold Pearson, Surgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lovinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quails, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quails, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. S. Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Haley Vester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frank Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, R.G. Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Boots Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr. Ladies, did y'all brush your teeth this morning? Get it. Go handle your business. Go handle your business. Gina, I know you heard me. Go handle your business. Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Mina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gosay, Georgia Haley Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, William and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet Tubman Kate, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Manley Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Richard Saunders, Dorita Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevens, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Manny and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford, Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lillian Green, Nathan Green, Bet Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey, Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Morel Ellis, Elizabeth Battles, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Irving, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Irvin, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robert Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Kofer, George Swan, Edmonia Grayson, Charles Scott, and Charles H. Scott. Lifting up the glass. Joel Jones. Do I need to add that? Is that a name I need to add? Joel Jones. Cleve, I need a pen. Why you breathing all hard? Something wrong with your lungs?
No, I don't have a pen.
Well, find a pen. You young. Get up and move. Real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. Good God Almighty. I think I just missed it. It expired. Give thanks. No, thank you. Why? Oh my God. Give it up. Sasha Marsh came through for her dad. No. Explain what's going on here. No, I tagged. Oh, okay. Okay. Who piloting Gye-Nyame Journey right now? All right. So we won't add Joel Jones to this list, but we know that we all will have to be on the list, and we just pray that Clara Fox to my list. Clara Fox. To Miss Cynthia Johnson's. Let me find where you are. Cynthia Johnson. Yeah, I categorize most of them by names. I even got a list with the names of the original list. But let's see. Where are you at? All right, cool. We got room on your space. So we're adding. Okay, Miss Navita is piloting Gye-Nyame Journey right now. Clara Fox. We raise our glasses to all of our Fox with 2 X's. We raise our glass up to all of our ancestors. Family, don't be shy to add to the list because, like I said, you know what I'm saying. We're building our army, right? We're building our army of ancestors, and we recognizing those upon whose shoulders we stand. Those that made direct sacrifices so that we could live and so that we could move towards prosperity if we are not already prospering. All right? So that we could lay the foundation for the next generation. So we salute those ancestors and we say Ashe, which means we come to the now.
Damn, Ron, come on! What's the matter with you?
You do it tomorrow.
Let's do it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
I gotta grasp my Gye-Nyame beads on that one. There is no tomorrow. There's only the eternal now. So in this now, we know that we are on Umoja. For those that don't know, that's unity. Of course, if I don't say it, you know, unity is one of M7 as well. We are on the mnemonic principle of truth. The color is violet. I got on my purple. My purple, as close as I get to violet. My purple Daily Toaster shirt. So be sure to get your Gye-Nyame gear, your Daily Toaster shirt. The mentalism is the Hermetic Law. Male name for the day is Kwojo. Shouts out to brother Kwojo. Female name of the day is Adjua. So if you was born on this day, Kwojo, male, female, Adjua. Right? All right. In the emotional emancipation, from emotional emancipation circles, African Center Culture Virtue and Value of today is in Wolof, is Taranga, which means sense of hospitality. In Akan Ethics today, we're working with truth. And from traditional Yoruba, we're working with Suru, which is patience. Patience. All right? All principles are to be activated within our immediate community first and foremost, right? Remember the six emotional. 6 emotions, powerful, peaceful, and joyful is the natural state. The things that let us know that we're moving out of our natural state and into basically in a lot of times could be a stressful or unhealthy situation is mad, sad, and scared. And these are simply these are signals from within us to let us know how to get back. These are our natural GPS system to get back to peaceful, powerful, and joyful. And here's the question: if you're mad, ask how you've been violated. If you can't figure out how you've been violated, you're not mad, right? Sad. If I'm sad, you got to ask yourself, what's the loss? If there's no loss, then it's not sad. And if you're scared, you got to ask yourself, what's the danger? If you can't find the danger, then you're not sad. So then you got to go on and look through, and you got to ask yourself these questions so that you can know where you are, right? If you're mad and you find out how you've been violated, then you need to set limits, reestablish your boundaries with individuals, groups, or systems. All right, sad. What's the loss? When you figure out what the loss, you reach out to your collective. I need support. Space, time to grieve and let go. So you're going to have your team kind of, provide an opportunity for you to grieve, for you to get away. You know what I'm saying? Get you some space so that you could come back to who you are. And then 2, danger. I need protection. You know what I'm saying? If you're scared, what's the danger? You find the danger. I need protection. You need to work and reach out to your circle. You need to reach out to your tribe. You need support and reassurance. And that need to be provided, right? All right, so we got those. So we lift up. We toast this powerful moment. In this moment, we will know where we are, right? We know what day we in. We know what emotional states we dealing with. Right? We got our principles, and we lift up our glass so we can move forward to empower the future, and we say Ashe. From there, we move to our future generations. We toast our children, our children's children, on to infinity, family. Remember, there is no tomorrow, so if you don't start it now, come on now. Are you serious? We lift up the glass, and we say Ashe. Sister Cynthia say, do you have the daily principles listed out someplace where we can access whenever? Same with the emotional piece. I find that I need to refer to them sometime as a way of grounding myself as I go. Says Seymour. Uh-oh. I want to push no wrong buttons. Uh-oh. Come on. Man, oh, come on. There we go. As I go through the day. All right, cool. So, I can list up the days. I just got to update the calendar. But the days of the week, I could just do one for just the days of the week with the principles for each day. And as well as get you a copy of, when I see you, I have to get you a copy of, this is something that Brother Wakasa left us. It's called Crack the Code. So we can make that available. You know what I'm saying? So family, we got tools here that we could work with and do some serious nation building. So what I have to start working on. I ain't gonna promise I'm gonna work on it today. I'm chilling today. I'm gonna kick my feet back, eat me some lasagna. Damn, you know what, Clee? I might go to the grocery store and we're gonna make us some chips. We need some potatoes and some the different type of potatoes, the sweet potato. Make those chips. Yeah, thinking about it. Hell, we might need to look and see if there's any potatoes in that damn bag, but I don't want to dig it up yet. But yeah. So we lift up the glass to the future generations, family. You know what I'm saying? Because we are responsible for at least the next 7. But hell, since we in the digital age, we responsible for eternity now. For all of our generations that follow us, we lift up and we toast them in advance, and we say Ashe. From there, we move to all of our relations, and we toast all of our relations. I definitely want to share the info with some of my cool. All right. So we have to work that out. All right. So we lift up the glass, and we say Ashe. From there, we salute all right now it's that private toast. Family, what is it that you need? We call these ancestors every day. I mean, we a little bit late, but we call these ancestors every day, and we need to let it be known, right? Every day, We're calling on these ancestors. Every day we're toasting these ancestors. Every day we're lifting these ancestors up. They're here. So the thing is, what is it that you need? You call on the creator ancestors. We saluting all of time and shit. You know what I'm saying? What is it that you need in your life? Let's put this spiritual energy to work. You know what I'm saying? Ashe. From there, we move on and toast the most powerful being in the room, and that's you. Cleveland, I need a favor. Yeah. I need you to cut off the air conditioning, open this up, make sure that screen in, open those windows upstairs. I want it to be hot a little bit up in here. So we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Y'all see I got that bee pollen, right? And I got it at a nice price, man. I found somebody right around here that does that. I'm telling you, this bee hustle, family, this farming hustle ain't no joke. So today, lines are open, 614-556-4535. We go in the direction y'all want, but we got 2 proverbs that we got to cover. We ain't got to cover both, but we almost back on track. I got 2 left. I got 1. A good fight should be like a small play, but played seriously. When an opponent expands, I contract. And when he contracts, I expand. And when there's an opportunity, I do not hit. It hits all by itself. Any technique, however worthy and desirable, becomes a disease when the mind is obsessed with it. That's Bruce Lee. And the last one is, there is no cure for birth and death save to enjoy the interval. There is no cure for birth and death save to enjoy the interval. That's from a George Santayana. So, should we do 1 or 2? Throw up. Somebody type in. I'm waiting for y'all, because I'm about to sip on some of this ambrosia. Mm-hmm. 1 or 2, come on now. Or if y'all got something else y'all want to discuss, y'all can just throw it up. The lines are open. I'm sitting up here all by myself. Uh-oh. Sister Regina says, number 1. Calvin, Mr. Kwame, she beat you. Number 1. A good fight should be like a small play, but played seriously. Now, this quote is why I wrote my book. I ain't gonna say why I wrote my book, but this is one of the reasons why the title of my book is called The Player's Pyramid, right? Because I'm a big fan of Bruce Lee. And he said, a good fight should be like a small play, but played seriously, right? We are in a game. You know what I'm saying? We could look at life as a game. It's a serious game nonetheless, right? It's not a game where we get to walk away from the board. No, the only way to get off this board is by death. So it's to be played like a small play. So you have fun in the practice. You prepare for a small play. You don't just go out and go up on stage and think you're going to be able to ad-lib in the play, because there's a script. And you have to be able to find a script for your life, or be bold enough to create the script for your life, right? So, but even in creating the script for your life, you have to be practiced at it. You have to get prepared for the role that you play. Family, we all play roles. Sometimes I'm dad, sometimes I'm brother, sometimes I'm big bruh, sometimes I'm brother Hatim, other times I'm the other name. You know what I'm saying? And the piece is, we all have roles. Are you playing all your roles to the best of your ability? Have you practiced for the roles that you play, not only in your life, but in other people's small plays? Or are you going in haphazard? Are you going in not taking it seriously, right? The fun is in the practice. The fun is in the practice, but when it comes to real life, you know what I'm saying? It's a life or death thing. And we got to understand that the play that we are in right now, most of us are playing parts in other people's plays. This is one of the reasons I always focus and tell people, listen, it's important that we start creating myths and stories, or at least grasping the myths and stories of our ancestors, because the myths and the stories explain life and give you a role rather than us being assigned roles. Many of us are acting in assigned roles that have been given to us by other people because we believe that they have more power than we have. It's a belief, right? It's a belief, because I want y'all to think about this. America rode through Vietnam with billions of dollars of equipment and got chased out by motherfuckers who had little or nothing. You know what I'm saying? We've been at war in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is supposedly a little backwater country that sell dope. But we still are enthralled in the battle over there, where you have individuals who say, fuck this script, I'm going with my own script. And rather than follow your script, I will blow myself up. You know what I'm saying? Life is like a small play, but it should be played seriously. You know what I'm saying? We have to come to a point in time where we're tired of playing the assigned roles that have been given to us and start moving into our divineness and moving into the roles that we have written and have created. We don't even have to get them on big screens. All we got to do is share the stories amongst ourselves, right? We can't just read the story of Heru and sit back. We got to understand that we are Heru. We can't just read the story of Asar and just sit back. We got to realize that we are Asar. It's looking at the stories in the same way that we look at the principles. And then on top of that, creating new ones so that our young people and even some of us can start acting in the roles that we have created for ourselves. I'm just saying, family. And it's that time, right? We are living in a time of legends. And I know sometimes I come on here and I might come with the whole depressive number shit. But we have to understand that even in that shit is an opportunity, because no hero is born into a perfect world, even though it may look perfect. Like you even look at the story of Buddha. Buddha, the whole mythology of Buddha is that Buddha was born into an environment, or the first Saitama, I think that's his name or whatever, was born into a situation where his father sent for a fortune teller, sent for a seer. And the seer came and said, this man is going to either become a priest or become the ruler of the world. And the father said, we're going to make him the ruler of the world. So the father just isolated him from everything. Now that seems like a perfect life. But in a sense, the father had condemned his son to a kind of hell, because everything would happen over and over again. Everything he wanted. There was no challenge to it. So even though his son was living in wealth, his son wasn't happy and eventually found ways to escape that. And we have to understand that no hero, and this is you, this is why I told you are the most powerful being. No hero is born into, in a sense, a paradise. We all have to go through a hell. We all have to struggle. And the reason why is because the struggle forces us to dig down. It forces us to face reality and dig down and deal with that reality and morph that reality and grab that reality by the neck and choke the shit out of it until it produces for us what we want. Many of us, we're just satisfied reading the stories. I don't care which mythology, because one man's religion is another man's mythology. I don't care which mythology you are in. If you are not intricately involved in the story, it's not yours. If you can't become David, if you can't see yourself as being David, if you can't see yourself as being Solomon, it's not yours. If you can't see yourself as Heru, and you can't see yourself in the struggle without, it's not yours. Right? If you can't see yourself as Buddha, it's not yours. There's a modern day Buddha who is going through this now. A young boy, so yes, you must create your own reality. And that modern day Buddha is you. That modern day Christ is you. That modern day Siddhartha is you. Right? The story just has not been written yet. You have not decided. We have not decided to sit down and pen our story. Well, some of us, like in Gye-Nyame, you know what I'm saying, we created a myth. We got a myth. You know what I'm saying? And the challenge now for some of the people that's in Gye-Nyame is, where's the myth going to go now? The first part came through Brother Hatim. You going to allow the second and third part to come through Brother Hatim? Or are you going to take it and you're going to take it somewhere? Are you going to add a more female aspect to the story? Or are you going to allow Brother Hatim sexist ass to keep on writing the stories? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do? How are you going to take our story? How are you going to, this organization that we have, this tribe that we have, where is the myth going to go? You have the power to shape and form that. Many of us, we think, one of the things I had to wrestle with for years, and I'm going to get back to the proverb, I had to wrestle for years, and sometimes I still, did God create man and woman, or did man and woman create God? And I'm constantly always asking myself that question. I know for some of y'all that's blasphemy, but I don't fear that shit. Because my thing is, if God get mad at me for asking a question, there's no difference between him or her or it than between him, them, and a slave master. You are not supposed to ask a slave master a question, right? But a benevolent, all-knowing, all in all places, all time being shouldn't be threatened by no goddamn question. Did you create me or did I create you? So I'm able to live my reality in a way where, like, damn, I have seen whole situations shift because of how people believed, right? But the whole piece is, for me, is I need to make sure that before people start believing something, I want them to be able to face the reality that they are in now so that they can see the dire need of something new. I can't have motherfuckers come and talking to me about illusions. About illusions. A lot of us are living in illusions. We don't even see what's really going on. So now we're trying to create stories, or we're trying to do something outside of what's really going on. God wants us to be asking, oh yeah, supposed to. You're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? How is it that that you serve something that you can't question? What is that? That's slavery. You know, I'm like, yo, and slavery by any being in this universe, especially over mine, is unacceptable. So, a good fight should be like a small play, but played seriously. We in a small play, family, but we got to play our part seriously. Do we have an accountability team? Do you have an accountability partner? Do you have accountability to your tribe, to your family? What is the accountability now? You know what I'm saying? That you to make sure that you're doing the practice that you need to be doing. Come on now. When the opponent expands, I contract. So now, what he's talking about here is he's using a fight because for Bruce Lee, in a sense, his belief was in fighting, right? So when his opponent expands, he contracts. And when his opponent contracts, he expands. So what he's talking about is working with the flow, being able to get involved with the flow, right? Not only being able to, in a sense, control the reality, but understand that the reality ebbs and flow, and being able to take advantage of the flow of that reality. It's sort of like some of y'all that's poets or rhymers, or some of y'all that got those skills where you have been practicing so long that you could just fall into a zone and you could go with the whole situation at that point in time, right? So if the shit ain't feeling right, you could pause for a second. But soon as the obstacles contract, you can expand and shine like a star, right? But soon as they expand again, you have to contract and you have to go back into your shell. You know what I'm saying? And in a sense, this is how we are able to take advantage of life. And then what he says is, now, this is the part where the practice come in. He says, And when there's an opportunity, for example, the opponent contracts, and there's an opportunity, I don't hit, it hits by itself. So now, Bruce Lee had a saying where he says, never fear the man that practices 1,000 kicks one time apiece. Fear the man that practices one kick 1,000 times. Right? See, practice for any trade, for any skill, is a requirement. And it becomes so natural that as soon as the opportunity comes, before you know it, you throwing those hands, or you throwing those feet, or you throwing that poem, or you throwing that rhyme, right? Or you doing that mathematical equation, because you prepared for this moment, and it's just happening. And all of us, in some form or fashion, have been able to experience this in our life. It ain't that I had to force the hit. It opened up, and it just popped off. I remember my martial arts teachers when I was young. They used to drill us so much that up until this day, somebody comes out, steps out, and says, boo, I dropped down into my fighting stance from Taekwondo from over 40 years ago. It has been ingrained in me. They practiced us so hard on just being able to get into fighting stance right away, and made it and burnt it into us, that up until this day, I still, even no matter what art I'm using, I'm always falling back down into that first, because of the drill and the practice. See, when the opportunity hits and you have to think about it, you already lost the opportunity. Family, we got to be so well oiled and so skilled as individuals and as groups that when the opportunity expands, when the opportunity opens up, everything happens by itself. I have prepared, I have built, I have practiced. We have practiced for that moment, right? When the moment comes, we're ready. Sister Cynthia say, and there are any black-owned and operated martial arts schools in Columbus. We know Elder Dale Green and his son, they do stuff in rec centers. I don't know if there's any direct buildings. If anybody knows of any black-owned martial arts schools in Columbus, let people know. But I'm quite sure there are a few, because there's a lot of black belts. But you guys understand, a lot of that stuff we're cash poor. So the insurance and all that stuff, and then having the regular students come, it's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? Because because we got to look at some of these expenses. A business that you got a building for has monthly bills. And we have to understand that it takes a cushion to build up. And then you got to have a clientele that are going to be steady with their money. But we all know, as black folks, well, at least maybe some of us in here, the shit happens. Car break down. Shit, I'm put back 3-4 months. You know what I'm saying? I got to make a choice between my car and going to martial arts practice. I got to make a choice between my kids eating and martial arts. Which one we gonna pick? I gotta get a new car. So we got to be honest about this shit. A lot of these businesses, we got to figure out how to include them in other things, or how to get people to, in a sense, give their skills, and we are able as a group to provide a certain amount, so that as a group, even if some of us fall off, we're able to at least pull from the reserves and pay this individual. See, because one of the pieces that we're going to add to warrior training is, we found a brother that said, hey, I want to teach y'all some jiu-jitsu, some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and some other shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, how much you charge? He said, I didn't even know it was a charge. I said, cool, we're going to work out something with you. Because I don't believe in that volunteer shit. I really don't. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to take advantage of nobody. Have somebody coming and we able to produce. If we able to produce any type of finances, I'm going to make sure that I break off everybody that's in that circle. That's how we do. You know what I'm saying? At least that's the goal. That's the goal. But, so any technique, however worthy and desirable, becomes a disease when the mind is obsessed with it. So what he's talking about is, one of the things he knows about martial arts is that people were so married to their techniques that they wouldn't be able to adapt in different situations. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like our strategies, we can't be so married to our strategies or techniques. We can't be so married that in different situations we are not able to adapt, right? We can't fall in love with many of us, we fall in love with ideas or systems, and we fall so much in love with it that when we are hit with something different, we can't grow. We get stuck. We get uncomfortable. Why? Because somebody has brought up a fact that the system that I'm in was not prepared for, which means that you have to rethink everything that you thought was right. And that is good. It's scary, but it's good. It's like in fighting. If I've been beating everybody up with my fists and then I run into somebody who's good with their feet, either I'm going to be like, oh, that's some bullshit. If I want to get that person, I'm going to have to start learning how to use my feet. Because he got me. I got 2 weapons. He got 4. Not just like some religions, like some of us in this conscious movement. Some of us get caught up in our shit too. You know what I'm saying? We can say religions, but shit, we can say some of the conscious thoughts. Because have you ever thought about this? When you look at the conscious movement, a lot of us are using old material. We're not expanding. We're not sending people out to do more research to find out new shit. We're throwing up old ideas. You know what I'm saying? We still quoting John Henry Clark, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. But my question is, are we doing other research to either support or to even challenge what some of the elders left us? Because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do, family. We are not supposed to stay stuck out of faith, you know what I'm saying? We have to be able to grow. So, and he says, any technique, however worthy and desirable, becomes a disease when the mind is obsessed with it. I want you to think about that. Any technique, however worthy or desirable, and desirable, becomes a disease when the mind is obsessed with it. And many of us, whether we're talking about religion, whether we're talking about conscious thought, you can see some of these individuals whose minds are diseased. And what the disease usually look like is they're stuck. They're stuck in one framework and they can't, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever had somebody who wanted to debate you, but they only coming from one book or one group? They dare not travel out. And what that is a type of cowardice, right? Because I'm going to stay with what I'm comfortable with. Because if I step outside what I'm comfortable with, I might discover something new, which means I have to break down my whole life and I have to change how I think. Shit, I'm changing my thought patterns. I try to change my shit as often as possible. I try to run into shit that's going to challenge me and shake me up as often as I can. Somebody's on the line on Gye-Nyame Journey. What's going on? Who this?
Christian Navita, what's going on?
Nah, you just hear me running my mouth. What's going on?
Is my background noise loud?
Nah, not this time. You ain't. I can't tell you washing dishes.
Video game in the background, so I'm sitting at my uncle's. I'm out of town today.
Oh, you stayed up in Dayton?
Yeah, I stay with my uncle. He lives in Dayton.
Go ahead, sis. What's going on?
No, I was just thinking about how you were talking regarding how even, in the quote unquote, for lack of a better term, conscious community, how we will sometimes we find one way that we have been doing and we're just not willing to look at it any other way. And I just like you said, I see it all the time. I remember just recently I had an incident, and I was trying to have a discussion about some new evidence that had came forward, and so possibly a new theory on, and the elders is like, we don't need to listen to that. Shink into Diop or Juke, however you want. He's already set that out for us. I'm like, okay, well, there's been some new evidence that's been found that we can at least look at. At least look at.
Right.
But they weren't even open to looking. No. They've already set the pattern for us. We don't need to look at anything else. I'm like, okay.
And that's dangerous as hell.
It is. It's very dangerous.
That's dangerous as hell. And not being able to adapt and adapt and look at stuff. And some people believe that's unfaithful, but that's coming from the West Asian mindset. That's coming from that. That's that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That keeps us enslaved. Not being able to open our eyes and seeing new ideas and new evidence, because it makes us uncomfortable. We might even have to go back on a lot of the shit that we thought before. And as true people of consciousness, if we are truly talking about consciousness, which means being awake, that means you have to be bold enough to be able to be like, I made a mistake. I was wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I've changed some of my theories and things along the way. For sure.
I had to. Because the shit, it wasn't working. Hell. That shit wasn't working. Some of the shit didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know what I'm saying? And you're looked at as an evil person for even bringing it. And, so I just isolated myself for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I started building my own community. I don't have to be dealing with stuck motherfuckers. All the time. Like,
right.
I all the time. Like, I would look at different things, and people like, no, boom, boom, boom. I don't have to argue with you about that. We don't even have to. I don't even like the debate. I'm not even on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I'm gonna follow this path. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna find out stuff for myself. You know what I'm saying? And this is how you know. Like, Nomo set a great example for us, because as Nomo started passing on, Nomo started looking at different stuff. He went from African history, and he started doing the less more is it wasn't quite Moorish, but it was like I can't remember the name of the group, but they were Native Americans, and they was down in Louisiana, and it was the Queen Mother down there, and he changed a lot of his stuff. Or he added his stuff to their stuff, and he started to go in his own direction. But he never cut me off, because I'm like, yo, what in the hell? Y'all fighting? He never looked at me or got mad at me because I didn't go the way he went. I looked at it and I'm like, this shit just don't fit with me. But when he called me, if he need me, I'm there because you my elder. I'm gonna help you. But I ain't got to agree with you. We didn't agree on the shit. You know what I'm saying? But the Wachita, that's what it was, the Wachita. And we didn't agree on the shit. You know what I'm saying? But rather than argue with him when he need me to do security or whatever, I'm down for you. I'm down for you. You know what I'm saying? Because of what you did for me. I don't necessarily have to agree with you. We don't have to agree. You still my elder. You still get respect. We don't have to agree. And Nomo never forced agreement or never made that part of the shit. Matter of fact, he encouraged me to do different research. You gonna do that spiritual shit? Go and do that research. I got here. Matter of fact, this is where I was. Fusion. Here you go. You can have this. He even offered me one of his slide presentations about spirituality, because that was one of the first slide presentations he used to do before the African Holocaust. When he went from spirituality to the African Holocaust, and then he moved into the Wachita. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, if that's the way you choose, elder, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? But he showed us that, sometimes you do have to step back, relook at your shit, re-examine, and make some corrections.
Reevaluate. Just because it's always been done this way, or just because this is, I don't want nobody to take offense by what I'm saying, but just because this is how this was as Africans did, doesn't always mean that's the best way to go. You got to look at all avenues that you may have before you,
Right.
and pick what's best. And like you said, there's things when it was appropriate and it worked back then, but it does not necessarily mean it's going to work now. So
Right.
once you become confined in that thought and you have no openness to anything else, not even willing to listen to anything else, that's very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Very
and a lot
dangerous.
of times, these organizations that have formed, if you notice, because they have confined themselves to this one way, that it's not, like one of the other proverbs you talked about was growing. Remember we
Right.
talked about that yesterday, about growing when you stay stagnant. So they pretty much stay stagnant, and because they're not willing to open up to other revenues and ideas and etc. So it just ends up just
Dying.
dwindling down, then dying, then yeah.
Not even understanding that their enemy, what we call white hegemony, or how you say hegemony or white supremacy or whatever you want, whatever people want to call that shit, them motherfuckers are taking new information and adding that shit to their belief systems all the time and moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we gotta adjust. That shit was wrong. We gotta adjust. We gotta boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And we stay stuck in the same shit. How the fuck you gonna win against how you gonna win? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna win against somebody who is constantly updating their weapons? We still fighting with weapons from 1965. These motherfuckers got weapons formed for 2050. How you gonna? You know what I'm saying? That's like us going up against a group of motherfuckers with machine guns and we got rocks. The fuck? Come on now.
Right.
Matter of fact, it's like us having bows and arrows and they got laser beams. The fuck up out of here.
It's like us trying to assist an entity or somebody who has always done it this way with something, and we've tried to incorporate modern technology in it because that's how people go, and they're like, no, we've always, it's like,
we always done it this
just
way.
Take checks.
We always
in
done
a
it this way.
world where checks are becoming a thing of the past.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You got to move with it.
You got to move. Either and then if you're uncomfortable with it, then you need to get your children together so that they can make the next move that we moving into.
Right.
That's what we're not doing.
Once you become that, like that's a good point, huh? Because once you become so sane, you can't move, then pass it on to somebody who's willing to move and become.
There you go. But what we do is we have organizations where motherfuckers will hold on to the realm of leadership forever. This is one of the reasons why in Gye-Nyame Journey, I tell people that in Gye-Nyame there's no elders. I mean, at my fault, we have one elder that we have officially recognized, right? And that's because we made that elder because of the relationship with Simba. But in Gye-Nyame, the goal is to make our own elders. Where, in a sense, in order to become an elder, you have to be voted in, not by a group of elders, but by everybody that's in that tribe, because they recognize who you are and what you are. So in Gye-Nyame, we have a saying where we say we make our own elders, right? And we don't have none yet. Mm-hmm. You understand? Even Brother Hatim is struggling through that shit because now, boom, I have certain things that I have to do before I even can say, hey, you know what I'm saying? I need. As a matter of fact, if you look at my beads, I'm 3 levels below even being able to be like, can I? You know what I'm saying? I got to, you know what I'm saying? After that, I'm 3 levels below. So I got to go on and do some shit. I got to do certain shit for that organization to make sure that it's stable. Yeah, I just can't retire. I have certain shit that I am responsible to Gye-Nyame tribe to do before anybody even could consider me. Shit was written years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason we did that was because we started noticing that people get stuck. And it's okay. But, you know, we need to understand. Then also another thing we got in Gye-Nyame, one of the reasons we start doing the beads and stuff like that is because we needed ranks. And this is why. Because you will have older people that wanted to get in. Shouts out to Miss Stephanie Jackson. I see you. Thank you for joining us. You will have older people get in, automatically want to be put in a position of elder. And we
eldership. Mm-hmm.
Right. We didn't want to disrespect people that got in that said they wanted to be elders, but what we wanted to do, we wanted to make sure that they earned it. So they would have to go through the ranking system. It's just like if you walked into a martial arts gym, right? No matter how old you were, and this was your first time doing the shit, you start off as a white belt. So in Gye-Nyame, we came up with like a belt system where you got to work your way up through that shit. Now you could work as fast as you want, but now this is what I like. I said you can be an elder and still be recognized, or older. You can be older than somebody and still receive respect. But when it came to tribal matters, you would have to yield to the person with the higher rank. Because if you have somebody that's been in the organization for 15 years, right, and working through, and they made their rank, and you come in, you 15 years older than them, right, they will still show you respect for being older than them. But when it came to matters of the organization, matters of the tribe, you are not as versed in what the tribe is going through as this individual who has been working up their way through the system and has been doing it. So you can't come in and just sit in the seat and be like, now we're not going to go for it because we don't believe. No, nigga, you don't even know what we believe in. I still respect you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And it's like not being caught in a system to where we got these rules that don't work. It don't work. Elders are not leaders. Elders are advisors, nation builders, motherfuckers that are young enough still to get out in the streets and rip somebody's ass off and might have to take a long time to recover. These are the leaders. The elders are the advisors. That's really what it is. So I'm fighting to get to the advising point. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I can't be right. I determined at 45. My fault. What's the last? I got my last fight about 39 years old. I don't know. Maybe I was a little bit, and I didn't heal right. And I said, nah. No, this shit is serious, right? I go get in the fight because a woman, right, was in a bad relationship, and she said she wanted to get out. I go down there. I handle business. I get my nigga poked his thumb in my eye, trying to blind me. You know what I'm saying? And then less than 2 weeks later, she back with this nigga. So I'm like, no. Now I understand why in The Godfather, why Don Corleone looked at Sonny when Sonny threatened the dude about his sister. He said, "Don't get involved in domestic affairs. You don't do that. In my type, you don't do that. We don't get involved in that shit." You know what I'm saying? You pick him, you live with him. When you leave him, and if he want to come up in here and act a fool while you have pulled yourself away from him, then we will find a place to bury him. Don't worry about that. But you have to make the decision. Period. But shit. You know, they done cut us down, Sister Navita. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. We got one person online. Cynthia Johnson is still okay. See, because something happens on Facebook where 1 minute people are on X, but I don't know what the fuck is going on. But this is why I'm telling y'all, get the app and we can have longer conversations.
Yeah, because I was on earlier and then just all of a sudden, just kicked me right down twice a day. Just kicked me right off.
This is why.
So I had to log back in. I was like, Lord, this Facebook is something else.
That's what I'm saying. We got to understand.
The point being, don't be stagnant. Don't be closed-minded. Even if you end up not agreeing with the information, once you've done your research on the information, at least be open-minded enough to look.
Right, but let's say you're not. Let's say you're not open-minded enough, and you don't want to be wrong in public. Then go home in private and look at it. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is what we need people that are mutable, flexible. Right? We do need now, and I do want to stress this. We do need those individuals that are able to keep tradition. Very important. Tradition and be able to hold on to
keep tradition and accept new tradition. It's a balance. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, in the organization, you can have those that hold on to the old traditions, but then you can't have them in a position where they block individuals that's coming with the new. right? Because, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you have that, what you have is a group that is falling towards what Homeboy was talking about, what me and you was talking about yesterday. You know what I'm saying? He who is silent is forgotten. He who does not advances falls back. He who stops is overwhelmed, outdistanced, crushed. He who ceases to grow becomes smaller. He who leaves off gives up. So let's change the word. They who are silent are forgotten. They who do not advance fall back. They who stop is overwhelmed, outdistanced, crushed. They who cease to grow become smaller. They who leaves off gives up. The conditions of standing still is the beginning of the end. Water don't even like standing still too long. Water standing still becomes stale. We got to constantly be flowing.
Stagnant as a mud. And it attracts a lot of bad things.
Oh, man. So, family,
because
those...
stagnant water, mosquitoes, you know, mold, just,
right.
you know.
It'll kill you. It'll kill you. It'll kill you. Now, Miss Cynthia Johnson, I like watching live, but yeah, Facebook be playing games. And we got to understand, that's those, I keep on saying logarithms. I know that brother Kwame is on. He gonna
Kwame.
Yeah, it's not logarithms. It's
algorithm.
It's the algorithms. And Kwame, we got to talk. You got to tell me what's the difference between a logarithm and algorithm. But it's the algorithms, and what they do is they're trying to move you, because we got to understand that Facebook is a business, family. Facebook is not a place for us really to find liberation. It wasn't designed for that. It's designed for us to just communicate, have fun, and look at what they're selling. So if you are involved in wrong activities, what they're going to do, they're going to start moving you off. This is why I'm saying, family, it's important. I know y'all like to see me perform on Facebook, but it's important to always have the backup on Spreaker, as well as be on the black signal, so that I can send out and let you know what's going. And then what's even crazy about Facebook, I don't even know, because in the same day, Sister Navita, Sister Cynthia, and somebody else let me know that they couldn't find me. Now, if I'm broadcasting in the same place on the same page every day, how is it possible that people that look at me every day can't find me? That's fucking impossible. At least I would think, right? You know what I'm saying? So Facebook, we don't own our pages on Facebook. We don't even own our pictures on Facebook. They could do what they want, and they could turn people towards you or turn people away from you. And as long as we understand that, we can work with it. But when we honestly start thinking, hey, we got rights on Facebook. It's it's not the United States government. It's a private corporation whose job is to make money. They put money over people all the time. Y'all need to understand that. So the same thing with Spreaker and all this other stuff. So what we are going to eventually have to end up doing is developing our own network so that we can talk in the way that we want to talk. Because Alex Jones is just the first step on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, all those. Alex Jones is just the first step. Y'all need to understand they're priming the water for anybody. Now, I don't think we really have to worry that much, but they're priming the water for anybody that's doing anything that is contrary to what they believe, contrary to their power. What we're doing, we're talking about something that's contrary to the status quo. Contrary. We're challenging people to think.
Well, I'm about to get off of here. I'm going to tune in because I was just wanting to comment on the topic at hand that came up. So I'm going to tune in via Facebook.
Yeah, we're about to get up. We ain't going to do the last one because the last one is very simple. They said there's no cure. There's no cure for birth or death, save to enjoy the interval. All that means is that the only way to overcome the disease of life, the problems of life, is to find ways to enjoy. And it's very few ways that I could think about enjoying my days than waking up and toasting with y'all. Being able to take my children to school and chill in a building with people that love me and what I do. I mean, family, I'm living the dream. You know, I'm living the dream, but I need a little bit more. I need some more money so that I can leave a legacy for us. I need for y'all to make more money. I need for us to go and get our fucking reparations so that we could go and buy a couple of apartment complexes and we can start building up in there for those that know. Because those that know are going to be able to grow their money. Oh, also, I wanted to warn y'all, listen. Because I'm big on that cryptocurrency shit. But I'm saying, family, once again, we're going to be, after Thanksgiving, I'm warning y'all, we're going to be moving into where they're going to be artificially increasing the value of cryptocurrency. Do not invest money you can't afford in anything, especially cryptocurrency, right? If you're going to buy cryptocurrency or if you have been buying cryptocurrency, don't jump on it when it's hot. It's sort of like gold. It's overpriced right now. It's overpriced right now. What I'm saying is, family, if you're going to spend on that, buy a little bit. The teacher, the Black Yoda himself, has sent us a lesson. He says, an algorithm is analogous to a flow chart, and a logarithm is another method of doing arithmetic operation. Usually learn of logarithms when facilitating exponential operations. So he went off into that math talk and shit, and I know nobody heard him, but he did answer the question. So an algorithm is analogous to a flow chart. So basically with an analog, they can look at patterns and put those patterns on a flow chart so that you can predict. So like, for example, this is why with an algorithm, when they start putting algorithms on you, they can look at the chart and they can tell almost, even without even looking at your history, what type of shit you would be interested in. All right? You know what I'm saying? And a logarithm, now if I'm wrong, Kwame, correct me. A logarithm is another method of doing arithmetic operations. So logarithms deal with basically the mathematic operation. So I got to look at why they both got the same end. We got algorithm, we got logarithm. Maybe they both track rhythms. I don't know. But hey, family, I want to thank y'all for taking the time, for tuning in, and joining the congregation of the mighty. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Of course, y'all know it's a Daily Toast. This is a Heart of Simple production. It's strive, smarty pants. We caught up this week, so next week we will be moving in. So I'm going to give y'all the story for tomorrow right now. Y'all ready? The story for tomorrow is the manslayer. Uh-oh. A man committed a murder and was pursued by the relations of the family. My fault. A man committed murder and was pursued by the relations of the man whom he murdered. We might need to start looking at some shit like that. On his reaching the river now, he saw a lion on his bank, and being fearfully afraid, climbed up a tree. He found a serpent in the upper branches of the tree, and again being greatly alarmed, he threw himself into the river, where a crocodile caught him and ate him. Thus the earth, the air, and the water alike refused shelter to a murderer. I don't know what direction the conversation is going to take tomorrow, but that sounds like a good one. All right? So, family, we have caught up, and I will see you tomorrow morning for the Tribal Quotes, about 5:15 a.m., and we will also be doing folk tales for grown folks at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to tune in. I want to thank everybody that's been taking the time. Make sure, let me type in where y'all could go. Let me type this in real quick, so you can check out some of our products. All right. Oh, Hoots we going to sleep. I'm paying all this. You don't sleep. I don't pay you to sleep, Poop Sweet.
Who's Poop Sweet?
Go to Gum Road. Gumroad.com. Gumroad.com/G&J. And you can plug into all of our stuff. You can look at all of the products that we have, books, meditation CDs, all that. Then also, I'm going to put that on Daily Toast, Gumroad.com. Go and support the journey. Because finally this stuff is paying off. But shit. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Please post a proverb. Post what proverb? That wasn't a proverb, that's a folk tale. Here I live. I'll write the name of it, y'all can look it up. Because you know, I gotta go and post and it's called The Manslayer. Folk tale of this week is called The Manslayer. That's up on, now let's put on He Sweet, the folk tale of the week. Is called The Manslayer. Now, for those that don't know how to look it up, all you do is type in Aesop and type in Manslayer. Alright, family, this is Brother Hatim. It was a great time talking with y'all. We've been on here 81 minutes. Actually longer because the first one crashed. So I'm out. Thank y'all very much. What? Stop, please. Oh man, all this stuff, stop. All this stuff posted on the old one. Hold on, let me update that chat. Alright, family. Shots out. Make sure you like and share. You know what I'm saying? Let's build this movement up. We need about 150 people on this when we doing our toast. I want to get about 150 toasters. You know, on other days other than Christmas, because we get about 150 on Christmas, maybe even more than that. We got a whole lot. All right. So this brother Hatim, I'm out. Peace, family.